For years, they slipped into our living rooms after dark. The monsters, the witches, the strange little families we couldn't help but love. From the creaky halls of the Munsters and the Addams Family, to the magic of Bewitched, to the far reaches of Star Trek, these were the casts who made the impossible feel like home. But the years moved on, and so did they. So tonight, let's look back at what really happened to them, starting with the Munsters. Fred Gwynne. Fred Gwynne was 6'5", Harvard-educated and a working painter when the calls started coming in about Herman Munster. His acting career had been going for a decade already. An uncredited debut in On the Waterfront in 1954, a beat cop named Francis Muldoon on Car 54, Where Are You? From 1961 to 1963. He was 38 when he agreed to play Herman. The Munsters ran 2 seasons. It made him, for the rest of his life, one of the most recognizable men in America, a fact he did not always love. He turned to other work when he could, in Francis Ford Coppola's The Cotton Club, in Pet Sematary, and most memorably, as the impatient Judge Chamberlain Haller in My Cousin Vinny in 1992. He also wrote and illustrated 10 children's books, several of which are still in print. He died at home in Taneytown, Maryland, of pancreatic cancer on July 2, 1993, 8 days shy of his 67th birthday. His obituary in the New York Times took some care to note the painting still on the easel in the studio when he died. Yvonne De Carlo. By the time Yvonne De Carlo was cast as Lily Munster in 1964, she had already been one of the most photographed women in Hollywood for 20 years. She had played Sephora, the wife of Moses, in Cecil B. DeMille's The 10 Commandments. She had starred opposite Clark Gable in Band of Angels. Her figure had launched 1,000 studio publicity shots. She took the role of Lily, in her own telling, mostly for the money. Her husband, the stuntman Bob Morgan, had lost a leg in a botched train stunt on How the West Was Won, and the family needed steady income while he recovered. She played Lily for 2 seasons, then returned to film work into her 50s, and in 1971 she stopped Broadway cold, singing I'm Still Here in the original production of Stephen Sondheim's Follies. She suffered a stroke in 1998 that ended most of her working life. She spent her last years at the Motion Picture and Television Country House in Woodland Hills, California, the retirement home built and maintained for the industry's veterans. She died there of heart failure on January 8, 2007, at 84. Bob Morgan had died the year before. Al Lewis. Al Lewis liked telling stories about his own life that not everyone believed. He said he was born in Brooklyn in 1910. He said he had a doctorate in child psychology from Columbia. He said he had scouted basketball for the Cincinnati Royals. His obituaries, the day after he died, noted that none of these claims had been verified. What is verified is that he came out of Yiddish vaudeville and the small stages of the Lower East Side, that he played Officer Leo Schnauzer opposite Fred Gwynne's Muldoon on Car 54, Where Are You? From 1961 to 1963, and that in 1964 the two of them were reunited on a new series about a family of monsters in the suburbs where he played Grandpa, the ancient vampire in the basement laboratory. He kept the Grandpa persona for the rest of his life. He ran a restaurant in Greenwich Village called Grandpa's. In 1998, he ran for governor of New York on the Green Party ticket and pulled in enough votes to keep the party on the ballot for 4 more years. He died at NYU Medical Center in February 2006, following complications from heart surgery, at what his family said was 82. Beverly Owen. Beverly Owen played Marilyn Munster, the pretty blonde niece the family kept describing as the plain one, for exactly 13 episodes, and only because her Universal Studios contract had left her no choice. She had signed it before the Munsters existed as a show. She had also by that point met a writer named John Stone and fallen in love with him, and she wanted more than anything to be back on the East Coast marrying him. According to Butch Patrick's later accounts, it was Fred Gwynne and Al Lewis who negotiated her out of the show. The two of them threatened a cast walkout unless Universal let her go. Universal did. She married Stone that year, moved eventually to Vermont, and did almost no acting after. A short recurring role on the soap Another World, and nothing else that mattered. She divorced Stone in 1974, raised 2 daughters, earned a master's degree in early American history in 1989, and settled into a private life. She died of ovarian cancer at her home in Vermont in February 2019 at 81. Butch Patrick, who had been 11 when he had a crush on her, was the one who announced her death. Charlie the Raven, Mel Blanc and Bob Hastings. In the Munsters' living room, a cuckoo clock hung on the wall. Instead of a cuckoo, it contained a small black raven who would emerge on the hour to announce, in the voice of a smart-alecky old man, "Nevermore." Most of the time, that voice belonged to Mel Blanc, the man who had already given the 20th century the voices of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Yosemite Sam, Barney Rubble, and roughly 1,000 others. He recorded the Raven for 6 episodes of The Munsters between 1964 and 1966. He died in Los Angeles in July 1989 at 81 of complications from emphysema and coronary artery disease. On the rare occasions when Blanc could not be there, the studio brought in Bob Hastings, the actor who was playing Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter on McHale's Navy at the same time, and who would later voice Commissioner Gordon in Batman, the animated series, through the 90s. Hastings died in Burbank in June 2014 of prostate cancer at 89. Between the two of them, they voiced the smallest character on the show for perhaps 4 minutes of total screen time. Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde played Dr. Edward Dudley, the Munsters' comically nearsighted family physician, in 3 first-season episodes. He was 38 and had spent the last few years stealing scenes on Broadway and in the film adaptation of Bye Bye Birdie. His most famous work was still ahead of him. From 1968 until 1981, Lynde sat every week in the center square of Hollywood Squares, the seat all the celebrities were fighting to be seen delivering one-liners from. His voice, high and dry and openly, unmistakably gay in an era when openly gay was not a phrase American networks used, became a kind of shorthand for the whole camp corner of 1970s television. He also played Uncle Arthur on Bewitched, Templeton the Rat in the animated Charlotte's Web, and the villain in a run of variety show specials. He was found dead in his Beverly Hills home in January 1982 of a heart attack at 55. He had struggled with alcohol and depression for much of his life. A generation of gay men who grew up watching him in the 70s later described him as the first man they had ever seen on television who did not seem to be pretending. Harvey Korman. Harvey Korman had already been on Broadway and in 5 films when he showed up on The Munsters in the show's first season, playing a con man named Lenny Bates in 3 episodes. Bates was trying, in each of them, to swindle the family out of the house. It did not go well for him. Later that same year, Korman joined The Danny Kaye Show as a supporting player, and in 1967, he moved to CBS to become one of the 4 founding cast members of The Carol Burnett Show. He stayed for 10 years, won 4 Emmys, and became the man who could not keep a straight face when Tim Conway was doing anything. His other great collaboration was with Mel Brooks, as Hedley Lamarr in Blazing Saddles, as Count de Monet in History of the World Part 1, and in several other Brooks films across 3 decades. He died at UCLA Medical Center in May 2008, at 81, from complications of an abdominal aortic aneurysm that had ruptured in his sleep. John Carradine. John Carradine was the patriarch of one of the great American acting families, father of David, Keith, and Robert. grandfather to a generation of Carradines still working today. Before he ever set foot on the Munster set, he had played the preacher in John Ford's The Grapes of Wrath, Bob Ford and Jesse James, Hatfield and Stagecoach. He had performed Shakespeare on tour for decades. He appeared on the Munsters as Herman's boss at the funeral home, Mr. Gateman, in 2 episodes of the 2nd season, a stern-voiced undertaker who was remarkably unfazed by Herman's appearance. 2 years later, in the 1966 feature film Munster, Go Home, he returned as the evil butler Crookshank in a plot against the family's British inheritance. He died in Milan, Italy, in November 1988, at 82, of natural causes. He had visited the city's cathedral earlier that day. His son David later said his father had died the way he'd always wanted to, mid-travel, mid-performance on European ground.
Maybe we should take a trip somewhere. Tombstone or Death Valley. Some fun place.
With her dark, hypnotic eyes and elegant presence, Carolyn Jones became the ultimate Morticia Addams. But behind the gothic glamour of the Addams family, her life was filled with its own struggles. Born on April 28, 1930, in Amarillo, Texas, Carolyn was a Hollywood dreamer from the start. She rose to fame in the 1950s, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress in The Bachelor Party before stepping into her most iconic role in 1964. As Morticia, she redefined Gothic beauty and wit from 1964 to 1966, making television history. Yet, her final years were far from the eerie comedy of the Addams Mansion. In 1981, she was diagnosed with colon cancer. Even as her health declined, she refused to let it end her passion, continuing to work on the soap opera Capital until she physically couldn't. In a touching moment, she married her long-term boyfriend Peter Bailey Britton in September 1982. On August 3, 1983, at just 53 years old, Carolyn Jones passed away, a Hollywood star, forever draped in black, but never forgotten. You never saw his face, but the Addams family wouldn't have been the same without him. Felix Silla, the man beneath Cousin It's iconic mop of hair, brought the quirky, gibberish-speaking character to life with his unique charm. Silla's ability to convey emotion through body language and movement made Cousin It a beloved figure, despite his face being hidden beneath a wild tangle of hair. Born on January 11, 1937, in a small Italian village, Silla began his career as a circus performer, showcasing his acrobatic skills and agility. This background served him well in Hollywood, where he became a sought-after stunt double and creature performer. He appeared in classics like Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, where he played an Ewok, and Battlestar Galactica. But it was Cousin It, dressed in a floor-length wig, sunglasses, and a bowler hat, that made him a TV legend. He also charmed audiences as Tweaky, the lovable robot in Buck Rogers. In 2021, after battling pancreatic cancer, Felix Silla passed away at 84. Though his face remained a mystery on screen, his contributions to film and television were anything but hidden. A true Hollywood original, forever remembered for bringing joy and laughter to generations of fans. You rang? With just 2 words, Ted Cassidy made television history. As Lurch, the towering butler of the Addams family, his deep voice and deadpan humor became iconic.
Lurch, the music has stopped.
No, but I can't.
But Cassidy was more than just a catchphrase. His presence was unforgettable. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches, Cassidy was often cast in roles that emphasized his height, but his talent went far beyond his frame. He was also a prolific voice actor, lending his unmistakable baritone to characters in various productions, including narrating and providing the growls and roars for the Hulk in the live-action TV series, The Incredible Hulk. Cassidy's versatility shone through in his work with Hanna-Barbera Studios, where he voiced numerous cartoon characters including Frankenstein Jr. and characters in Space Ghost. He also made memorable appearances in science fiction shows like Star Trek, showcasing his range as an actor. In 1979, at just 46 years old, Cassidy underwent open-heart surgery. Tragically, complications led to his untimely death shortly after. Though his time was cut short, his legacy remains. Whether as Lurch, a narrator, or a voice in the shadows, Ted Cassidy's impact on entertainment is truly larger than life.
Can I play autopsy with it?
Before Jenna Ortega and Christina Ricci, there was Lisa Loring, the very first Wednesday Addams. At just 5 years old, she brought the character to life in the beloved television series The Addams Family, 1964 to 1966, with her haunting stare and that now famous twisted little smile. Her portrayal of the dark and eccentric Wednesday captivated audiences worldwide, setting the stage for future interpretations of the character. Born Lisa Ann DeCinces in 1958 in the Marshall Islands, Loring's career began early, but Wednesday remained her most iconic role. She later appeared in soap operas like As the World Turns and horror films, showcasing her versatility as an actress. Yet fans always remembered her as the girl who made the Addams Family dance. Her influence lived on. Jenna Ortega even credited Loring's original Wednesday dance as inspiration for her viral Netflix performance in the series Wednesday.
Actress Lisa Loring has died. She was the first to play Wednesday Addams in the 60s sitcom The Addams Family.
On January 28, 2023, Lisa Loring passed away at 64 due to complications from a stroke. Though she left us too soon, her legacy is eternal. The little girl in black braids may have grown up, but she'll always be Wednesday to us. Her impact on pop culture continues to inspire new generations, ensuring that her memory, as the original Wednesday Addams, will endure forever.
It's only money. Good. George Bass is my name.
You might not recognize his name, but you've definitely seen his face. Eddie Quillen, born in Philadelphia in 1907, was one of those classic Hollywood character actors who seemed to be everywhere. Comedies, westerns, dramas, you name it. He had an incredible career spanning over 6 decades, from silent films to TV shows like The Addams Family. Quillen started acting as a child in vaudeville, making his film debut in 1922. He transitioned to feature films with Show Folks in 1928, quickly making a name for himself with his boyish charm and comedic timing. He starred alongside legends like Clark Gable in Mutiny on the Bounty, 1935, and Henry Fonda in The Grapes of Wrath, 1940. As Hollywood evolved, Quillen smoothly transitioned to television in the late 1950s, guest starring on popular shows like The Andy Griffith Show, and making multiple appearances on The Addams Family in the 1960s. Eddie Quillen passed away on July 19, 1990, in Burbank, California, at the age of 83. Though his name may not be as well known today, his legacy lives on in the countless films and shows that brought audiences laughter and joy for over 60 years. You may not know her by name, but classic TV fans will surely recognize her face. Natalie Masters was a talented character actress who appeared in numerous television shows throughout the golden age of television and beyond. Born in 1915 in San Francisco, Masters initially found fame as a radio actress, starring as the titular character in the detective series Candy Matson, YU-28208, from 1949 to 1951. She then transitioned to television, where she became a familiar presence in many iconic shows. Masters made appearances in popular series such as The Real McCoys, Adam 12, Dragnet, The Patty Duke Show, My Three Sons, and Gunsmoke. She also had a notable role as Wilma Clemson in Date with the Angels. Her versatility as an actress allowed her to continue working in television well into the 1980s, with her final role coming in 1985's The Hug-a-Bunch. Masters passed away on February 9, 1986, at the age of 70. Though she may not have had starring roles in the most famous shows of her era, her legacy as a reliable and versatile character actress endures through the golden age of television and beyond.
What are you planning?
Show him the wonderful sign you painted for him.
Everybody's fiend.
Alan Joslin had a knack for playing the polished upper-class type, whether it was a fast-talking businessman, a snobby aristocrat, or a bumbling authority figure. But beyond his sharp suits and comedic timing, he was a versatile character actor who left his mark on classic Hollywood and television. Born in 1901, Joslin made his Broadway debut at 17 and transitioned to Hollywood in 1937 with They Won't Forget. His quick wit and expressive face made him a favorite in screwball comedies and dramas alike, often playing second leads opposite Hollywood's biggest stars. Notably, he created the role of Mortimer Brewster in the original Broadway production of Arsenic and Old Lace. By the 1960s, Joslin had moved into television, guest starring in numerous series. He appeared in The Addams Family as Sam Hilliard, a truant officer terrified of the eccentric Klan. His versatility shone through in both comic and dramatic roles across various media. Joslin passed away on January 21, 1981, at the age of 79. Though he rarely played the hero, his presence made every scene more memorable. His legacy remains in the many films and TV shows that continue to entertain audiences today. might not know his name, but if you were a fan of classic television and movies, you've definitely seen Ray Kellogg. A staple of 1950s and 60s entertainment, Kellogg built a career on playing officers, authority figures, and tough guys, appearing in everything from The Adventures of Superman to The Addams Family. Born in 1919 in Great Bend, Pennsylvania, Kellogg's on-screen presence was strong, often portraying law enforcement or military men. His roles in westerns, including his notable part as Deputy Ollie in The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, and crime dramas made him a recognizable face, even if he never reached leading man status. Kellogg's career wasn't limited to television. He made his film debut in 1942 and appeared in notable movies like The Court Jester, 1955, and The Music Man, 1962. Kellogg passed away on September 26, 1981, at the age of 61. Though his name may not be widely known, his contributions to classic television and film remain a testament to the character actors who made those productions unforgettable. For 5 seasons, Dick York played the lovable and exasperated Darren Stevens on Bewitched, bringing humor and heart to the role. But behind the scenes, York was hiding an excruciating secret. In 1959, years before Bewitched, a set accident while filming They Came to Cordura left him with a debilitating spinal injury. He pushed through the pain, masking his struggles with prescription painkillers, but by season 5 it became too much. While filming an episode, he collapsed on set and suffered a seizure. His body had given out. Unable to continue, York was forced to leave the show, and his career soon faded. In his later years, York faced financial ruin, even relying on welfare for a time. But despite it all, he remained kind and generous, dedicating his final days to helping the homeless through his charity, Acting for Life. He passed away in 1992 from complications of emphysema, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and a story of resilience few ever knew. As Bewitched's fiery, quick-witted Endora, Agnes Moorehead cast a spell over audiences with her dazzling presence. But behind the flamboyant makeup and sharp humor was a woman of remarkable depth. Born in 1900, Moorehead's career spanned decades before she became TV's most iconic mother-in-law. A star of radio, stage, and film, she earned 4 Oscar nominations and even voiced one of Disney's most feared villains, Lady Tremaine in Cinderella. Yet, her life took a tragic turn. On April 30th, 1974, at the age of 73, Moorehead passed away from uterine cancer. Some speculated that exposure to radiation while filming The Conqueror, a movie shot near a nuclear test site, may have contributed to her illness. Many cast and crew members later died of cancer, fueling theories about the film's potential deadly legacy. Though she left us 50 years ago, Moorhead's unforgettable performances continue to enchant generations. The magic of Endora and Agnes lives on. To Bewitched fans, David White was the fast-talking, deal-closing Larry Tate, the ad executive who could switch from charming to furious in a heartbeat. But beyond the sitcom, White's life was marked by both success and profound personal tragedies. Born Daniel David White in 1916, his career spanned Broadway, film, and television after serving in the U.S. Marine Corps during World War II. While Bewitched made him a household name, he also appeared in classics like The Twilight Zone and The Apartment. But behind the scenes, heartbreak struck twice. In 1958, his first wife, Mary Welch, died due to pregnancy complications. Then in 1988, his son Jonathan perished in the Pan Am Flight 103, bombing over Lockerbie, Scotland. These losses deeply affected White. 2 years after his son's death, on November 27, 1990, White passed away at 74 from a heart attack. He was survived by his daughter, Alexandra. Though he's gone, his portrayal of Larry Tate remains unforgettable. Forever the smooth-talking boss with a knack for comedy and chaos. As Gladys Kravitz on Bewitched, Alice Pierce perfected the role of the nosy neighbor, her shocked expressions and shrill exclamations making her a fan favorite. But behind the comedy was a woman battling a heartbreaking secret. Diagnosed with terminal cancer before Bewitched even began, Pierce kept her illness private, determined to keep working. She brought humor and charm to Gladys, even as she quietly fought for her life. Remarkably, she continued filming until just 2 weeks before her passing. On March 3, 1966, at just 48 years old, Pierce succumbed to ovarian cancer. The impact of her loss was so significant that ABC broke into primetime broadcasting to announce her death. Shortly after, she was posthumously awarded an Emmy for her unforgettable performance, with her husband Paul Davis accepting the honor on her behalf. Though her time was tragically short, Pierce's comedic brilliance lives on. Whether spying through curtains or gasping in disbelief, Gladys Kravitz and the woman who brought her to life remain an irreplaceable part of television history. Replacing a beloved TV character is never easy. But when Dick Sargent stepped in for Dick York as Darren Stevens on Bewitched in 1969, he made the role his own. His dry wit and charm kept the show's magic alive, but Sargent's life off-screen was just as compelling. Before Bewitched, he built a steady career in Hollywood, but fame came with struggles. After years of keeping his personal life private, he came out as gay on National Coming Out Day in 1991, becoming a proud advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and AIDS awareness. His courage resonated, making him one of the few openly gay actors of his era. In 1992, he served as Grand Marshal of the Los Angeles Gay Pride Parade alongside his Bewitched co-star Elizabeth Montgomery. Diagnosed with prostate cancer in 1989, Sargent continued his advocacy work, including support for the Special Olympics. In 1994, at age 64, he lost his battle with the disease. Though forever remembered as the other Darren, his impact went far beyond sitcom history. He was a trailblazer who used his voice to inspire, proving that his greatest role was simply being himself. With just a twitch of her nose, Elizabeth Montgomery bewitched audiences worldwide. As Samantha Stevens, she brought humor, grace, and charm to the role, making Bewitched one of the most beloved sitcoms of all time. But Montgomery was more than just TV's favorite witch. Born into Hollywood royalty, she defied expectations, taking on bold, controversial roles after Bewitched, like a rape survivor in A Case of Rape and the infamous Lizzie Borden in The Legend of Lizzie Borden. Off-screen, she was fiercely private, yet passionate about social causes, advocating for LGBTQ+ rights and AIDS awareness. In March 1995, Montgomery was diagnosed with colon cancer. Despite treatment, the disease spread to her liver and lungs. She passed away on May 18, 1995, at the age of 62, just 8 weeks after her diagnosis, leaving fans stunned. Nearly 30 years later, her legacy still shines as bright as ever, because true magic never fades. On Bewitched, Marion Lorne's Aunt Clara was the lovable, bumbling witch with a heart of gold and a knack for botched spells. With her collection of antique doorknobs and forgetful charm, she stole every scene. But Lorne's magic wasn't just on screen, it was real. Born in 1883, though she often claimed younger birth years, Lorne had a long, celebrated career in theater, television, and surprisingly, only 3 films. Despite decades in the industry, Bewitched finally made her a household name at age 80. Her portrayal of Aunt Clara was so adored that even Elizabeth Montgomery spoke of her with deep affection. Sadly, Lorne passed away from a heart attack in 1968 at age 84. Just 10 days later, she was posthumously awarded an Emmy for her role. Her character was never recast, because no one could replace her. Decades later, her warmth, humor, and unmistakable magic still make Aunt Clara unforgettable. Paul Lynde, born June 13, 1926, didn't need a starring role to be unforgettable. As the sarcastic, scene-stealing Uncle Arthur on Bewitched, he brought a sharp wit and mischievous charm that left audiences in stitches. But behind the laughter, Linde's life was more complex. After making his Broadway debut in New Faces of 1952, Lynde built a successful career in comedy, shining as the center square panelist on Hollywood Squares from 1968 to 1981 and in films like Bye Bye Birdie. His flamboyant persona made him a fan favorite, but in an era when being openly gay could end a career, he lived much of his life in secrecy. Despite professional success, Lind struggled with personal demons, including substance abuse. On January 10, 1982, he passed away at just 55 from a heart attack. Though gone too soon, his razor-sharp humor and comedic brilliance remain timeless. Uncle Arthur may have been a side character, but Paul Lynde was always the star. In Star Trek: The Next Generation, Worf's journey was shaped by two worlds, his Klingon heritage and the human parents who raised him. Georgia Brown brought warmth and wisdom to the role of Helena Rozhenko, Worf's adoptive mother.
Whatever you are suffering, you must remember we are with you.
And that we're proud of you.
In 2 episodes aired in 1990 and 1991, giving fans a rare glimpse into the softer side of the fierce Klingon warrior. Born in 1933 in London as Lillian Klott, Brown was a powerhouse talent long before stepping onto the Enterprise. She made her mark in musical theater, originating the role of Nancy in Oliver on the West End and Broadway, earning a Tony nomination. Her deep, soulful voice made her a celebrated singer, while her acting career spanned stage and screen for decades. Brown's versatility shone through in her Emmy-nominated role as Madame Lazora on Cheers, and her appearances in films like The 7% Solution. She was also a passionate advocate for women's representation in television. Tragically, Brown passed away on July 5, 1992, at the age of 58 after a brief illness. Though her time in Star Trek was brief, her legacy lives on through her unforgettable performances across various mediums. Some actors command the screen with just a look, and Andreas Katsoulas was one of them. Born in 1946 in St. Louis, Katsoulas found his passion in theater, earning a master's degree from Indiana University before joining Peter Brook's International Theater Company. His deep, resonant voice and commanding presence led to roles in major films. He played the menacing Joey Venza in Someone to Watch Over Me, 1987, and the one-armed man in The Fugitive, 1993. Sci-fi fans may remember him as the recurring Romulan commander Tomalak in Star Trek: The Next Generation, where he made each appearance memorable.
We are studying Nelvana 3 for archaeological research.
However, Katsoulas' most iconic role was as G'Kar in Babylon 5, where he delivered one of the most complex and moving performances in television history.
No, I have an obligation to honor my father's name.
His portrayal of G'Kar's transformation from a vengeful diplomat to a spiritual leader showcased his remarkable range as an actor. On February 13, 2006, Andreas Katsoulas passed away from lung cancer at 59. His performances live on, a testament to a talent that could bring even the most alien characters to life with unforgettable depth. In the Star Trek universe, few villains were as formidable as the Duras sisters. Barbara March, born Barbara Jean Matska, made a lasting impression as Lursa, the cunning Klingon warrior who schemed her way through The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek: Generations.
Release our vessel at once.
I don't think so.
That is outrageous.
What is this evidence?
Beyond the battle-hardened exterior, March was a classically trained actress with a deep love for Shakespeare and the stage. Born on October 9, 1953, in Toronto, Canada, she built a career in theater before stepping into the world of sci-fi. Her portrayal of Lursa, alongside Gwyneth Walsh's Beador, gave fans one of the franchise's most memorable antagonists: ruthless, ambitious, and always dangerous. March even lent her voice to the character in a Star Trek video game. A multi-talented artist, March was also a playwright and author. Sadly, on August 11, 2019, she passed away at 65 after a battle with cancer. Though she is gone, her legacy endures, both on screen and in the hearts of fans who still fear and admire the Duras sisters. Today, we remember her not just as a Klingon warrior, but as a versatile talent lost too soon.
am Kurn, Commander Rank Klingon Defense Force.
Tony Todd's portrayal of Kurn, the honorable Klingon warrior and Worf's brother, left an indelible mark on the Star Trek universe. Born on December 4, 1954, in Washington, D.C., Todd's commanding presence and deep, resonant voice became his signature. While renowned for his role as Candyman, Todd's versatility spanned genres and mediums. His career included notable performances in Platoon, The Rock, and voice work in animated series and video games.
What the f*** is this?
Todd's extensive filmography boasts over 200 film and television credits.
Hollywood mourning the death of actor Tony Todd tonight. Representatives of the star say he died peacefully at his Marina del Rey home last night.
Tragically, on November 6, 2024, Tony Todd passed away at his home in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 69. His legacy extends beyond Star Trek, encompassing memorable roles in horror franchises like Final Destination, and his voice work as The Fallen in Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Todd's final on-screen appearance will be in the upcoming Final Destination, Bloodlines. His contributions to entertainment from stage to screen will continue to inspire and captivate audiences for generations to come, cementing his status as a versatile and respected actor.
This is Patty Yasutake, Nurse Alyssa Ogawa, as you know me from Star Trek The Next Generation.
In the vast universe of Star Trek The Next Generation, Nurse Alyssa Ogawa stood as a beacon of care and professionalism.
And then after dinner, then what?
We went to the holodeck and took a walk on the Champs-Élysées.
Portrayed by the talented Patty Yasutake, Ogawa became a beloved character, symbolizing the dedication of Starfleet's medical personnel. Born on September 6, 1953 in Gardena, California, Yasutake graduated with honors in theater from UCLA. She began her career with East-West Players, spending 6 influential years with the renowned Asian American theater organization. Yasutake's portrayal of Nurse Ogawa spanned 16 episodes of The Next Generation, as well as 2 Star Trek films. Her character's warm presence left an indelible mark on the franchise. Beyond Star Trek, Yasutake showcased her versatility in various roles. Her final performance as Fumi Nakai in the critically acclaimed Netflix series Beef was particularly noteworthy. Tragically, on August 5, 2024, Patty Yasutake passed away at 70 after a courageous battle with a rare form of T-cell lymphoma. Her legacy endures through her diverse body of work and the countless lives she touched with her performances, forever remaining a cherished part of Star Trek history. From the very beginning, Majel Barrett was the heart and soul of Star Trek. More than just an actress, she was an integral part of the franchise's legacy. Barrett first appeared in the unaired Star Trek pilot as Number 1, a groundbreaking role for its time. Though that character was scrapped, she returned as Nurse Christine Chapel in the original series. Her most enduring contribution, however, was as the voice of the Enterprise's computer, a role she carried through The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and even Enterprise, making her the only actor to appear in all Star Trek series up to that point.
Hello, computer? Is Commander Riker still on the bridge?
Negative. Riker is currently in Holodeck 3.
She also brought life to the flamboyant Lwaxana Troi in The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, showcasing her versatility. Beyond the screen, she was the wife of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry, keeping his vision alive after his passing. On December 18, 2008, Majel Barrett passed away at 76 from leukemia. Her legacy lives on in every Starship computer voice, from the original Enterprise to the 2009 film reboot. In every
Working. On close copy.
Her voice remains the sound of the future. In the expansive world of Star Trek, The Next Generation, Alan Scarf brought to life 2 memorable Romulan characters, Admiral Mendak in Data's Day, and Tokath in the 2-part episode Birthright. His portrayals added depth and intrigue to the complex political landscape of the series. Born on June 8, 1946, in Harpenden, England, Scarf's family moved to Canada during his youth. He pursued acting with vigor, becoming an associate director at both the Stratford Festival and Liverpool's Everyman Theatre. His dedication to the craft earned him a Genie Award for Best Supporting Actor in 1985 for his role in The Bay Boy. Beyond Star Trek, Scarf's versatility shone through in films like Lethal Weapon 3 and Double Impact. where he often portrayed compelling antagonists. He also starred in the television series 7 Days, captivating audiences with his dynamic performances. In his later years, Scarf turned to writing, publishing several novels under the pen name Clanash Farjon. His works included a Jack the Ripper-themed book and a political satire trilogy. On April 28, 2024, Alan Scarf passed away at the age of 77 after a battle with colon cancer. His contributions to both the performing and literary arts have left an indelible mark, and his performances continue to inspire. Few characters in television history are as iconic as Mr. Spock, and even fewer actors are as inseparable from their roles as Leonard Nimoy. With his calm demeanor, raised eyebrow, and famous Vulcan salute, Nimoy brought logic and heart to Star Trek, turning Spock into a cultural phenomenon. Born in 1931 in Boston to Jewish immigrants, Nimoy pursued acting from a young age. While Star Trek made him a household name, his career was diverse. He starred in Mission Impossible and directed the box office hit 3 Men and a Baby. Nimoy was also a poet, musician, and photographer, maintaining strong connections to his Jewish heritage. Nimoy's autobiographies, I Am Not Spock, 1975, and I Am Spock, 1995, reflected his complex relationship with the character that defined his career. Spock's internal struggle between his human and Vulcan sides resonated deeply with audiences, making him one of the most beloved figures in sci-fi history.
Leonard Nimoy has died. The star of Star Trek died today at his home in Los Angeles at the age of 83.
On February 27, 2015, Leonard Nimoy passed away at 83 due to end-stage COPD, a disease he attributed to smoking. His final message to fans was simple yet profound. A life is like a garden. Perfect moments can be had but not preserved except in memory. If any of these faces still feel familiar, turn on notifications so the next one finds you. Another story is waiting for you on screen.